I want to start by discussing the Russian fighter jet that intercepted a Navy plane, flew within 10 feet of a U.S. Navy spy plane today over the Black Sea. And this, according to reports, this is the latest string in a series of maneuvers involving Russian aircraft and the U.S. military. So the Russian Su-27 flanker jet flew dangerously close to a U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon reconnaissance aircraft used primarily for anti-submarine warfare, basically a spy plane. The Russian Defense Ministry accused the plane of flying without its transponder, with it cut off. And with it cut off, the Navy indicated that they were flying in international airspace, which means they had the right to be there. But with the Russian defense saying that the transponder was off, they had the ability to challenge the location of where the spy plane was. They scrambled a fighter jet, and that fighter jet came close within 10 feet of this spy plane. U.S. officials say that the flying without a transponder is actually something that the Russian military jets routinely do. And this is a means that the U.S. military actually identifies them. But it's the closeness, the proximity. I mean, 10 feet. 10 feet is extreme. I mean, 10 feet is dangerously close is kind of an understatement. And the potential of something going terribly wrong and spiraling out of control from there really exists when you have this type of aggressive act. So thankfully, nothing came of it other than tough talk from both sides. The plane obviously made it to its destination, which is ultimately the most important thing. But it just shows you the level of aggression that is demonstrated between our nations pretty regularly, and how tenuous our relationship is at any given point, which really speaks to the problem of having such callous, or cavalier is the word, having such cavalier language with regard to Russia, or with regard to any enemy. We have a tendency we have had a history and a tendency of speaking with extreme bravado to show our strength, which has at sundry times gotten us into trouble. This is typically something that we have attributed to the right. In this election, it has flipped, and we're hearing this brash language come from Democrats, Hillary Clinton, and some of her surrogates, speaking in not only in Cold War language, but also speaking very, very brashly in terms of how they would handle Russia. And the picture of Obama with Putin on yesterday is an example that people often use to say, are not often used, but I saw it being used to talk about they want a president who's going to, this is coming from Democrats now, they want a president who's going to handle Putin like this versus Trump's approach, which is we should have a friendly relationship with Russia. It's amazing how quickly positions can shift depending on what politician is espousing that position. And when you consider how close in proximity the Russian military is with American-backed forces in Syria, when you consider how close this fighter jet got in proximity to one of our spy planes, the last thing we need are reckless politicians and leaders using any enemy, but particularly Russia, as an opportunity to show how tough they are. When we've seen the results of acting and showing and trying to demonstrate how tough we are, we get stuck in a quagmire of 15 years. So